I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
LeBron James suddenly walked across the court toward him and confronted him. You can see this in the clip.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent.
The moment lasted less than 10 seconds, yet it instantly became one of the most talked about confrontations in modern NBA media history. During a timeout in a Lakers game on March 6th, LeBron James suddenly walked across the court toward ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith, who was seated courtside watching the game. Cameras captured LeBron leaning in and delivering a direct message. He wanted Smith to stop talking about his son, Bronny. The exchange was brief, tense, and over almost as quickly as it started. But the video spread across social media within minutes, and what looked like a small courtside moment quickly turned into a national conversation about parenting, media criticism, and the pressure surrounding Bronny James's NBA journey. The game itself, a matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks, ended with a dramatic 113-109 overtime victory for the Lakers. However, the score became almost irrelevant compared to what happened during that timeout. Stephen A. Smith was sitting courtside alongside Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel and comedian Larry David when LeBron approached him directly from the Lakers huddle.
Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet.
According to Smith, LeBron leaned in and told him to stop speaking negatively about his son, repeating that Bronny was his child. Smith, caught off guard by the confrontation happening in the middle of a nationally televised game, reportedly responded that they could discuss it later. He chose not to escalate the moment, especially considering the cameras and crowd around them, and within seconds, LeBron walked back toward the bench.
And friend Rich Paul has my number. Maverick Carter, who works under him, has my number. LeBron James knows how to get in contact with me if he wanted to. He never called, because had he called and wanted to talk to me, I would have accepted that call. Had he wanted to see me, I would have flown out and I would have seen him and I would have had a conversation man to man. But that is not what he elected to do. Instead, he elected to confront me while I was sitting courtside.
At the time, most fans in the arena did not fully realize what had happened, but several spectators recorded the interaction on their phones, and once the videos began circulating online, the story exploded. Within hours, the clip appeared on major sports accounts across X, Instagram, and television shows. By the next morning, every major sports network was discussing the confrontation. For many viewers, the scene represented something rare in professional sports, a superstar confronting a member of the media during a live game. For others, it looked less like a dispute between a player and analyst, and more like a father responding emotionally to criticism directed at his child.
You got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though.
Stephen A. Smith later explained that he believed the confrontation may have been triggered by something LeBron saw earlier in the game. Smith said that during a timeout, he noticed Bronny James sitting nearby, and that Bronny appeared to glance in his direction with what looked like a discouraged expression. Smith speculated that LeBron might have noticed that moment and interpreted it as his son being hurt by the public criticism surrounding him. If that was the case, Smith believed the courtside approach was not simply about months of commentary, but about a father reacting in the moment after seeing his son affected by it.
But if we had that conversation, I would have said to LeBron James,
to understand why the confrontation happened at all, it is necessary to go back several years. LeBron James openly talked about his dream of playing in the NBA alongside his son since at least 2018. Over time, he repeated that goal in interviews and social media posts, saying he would play for whichever team drafted Bronny. By 2023, he had gone even further, publicly claiming that Bronny was better than some current NBA players he had watched. Those comments created enormous expectations long before Bronny ever entered the league. When the Lakers selected Bronny James with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the moment immediately became one of the most debated topics in basketball.
rather than come up to me at courtside, all you had to do was say, yo, I need you to see you after the game. You didn't do that. You said you with my son. No, I wasn't. I was talking about you. It wasn't about your son. I know he's number 55. I know he got work to do. Yeah. I believe that he got the potential. And by the way, I'm rooting for him. I ain't rooting against nobody. But I was talking about your
Initially, Stephen A. Smith was not among Bronny's harshest critics. In fact, during the days following the draft, he defended the opportunity for LeBron and Bronny to share the court. Smith argued that nepotism existed throughout sports and business, and LeBron had earned the right to pursue that dream. However, Smith also warned that placing Bronny directly into the Lakers organization alongside his father could create enormous pressure. In his view, the media environment surrounding the Lakers, combined with the constant attention on LeBron, could become overwhelming for a young player still developing.
Opening night, the Griffeys in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings.
As the 2024-2025 season progressed, those concerns began to surface in the form of statistics. By late January 2025, Bronny had appeared in only 13 NBA games and played just 44 total minutes. During that stretch, he scored 4 points and shot 1 for 16 from the field. While those numbers were not unusual for a late second-round rookie adjusting to the NBA, they became a national talking point because of the spotlight surrounding his name. Bronny performed better in the G League, averaging solid scoring numbers there, but his limited production in NBA games was repeatedly highlighted on television debates. After a Lakers loss to the Philadelphia 76ers in January 2025, Stephen A. Smith delivered a segment on First Take that became the central flashpoint in the entire controversy. During the broadcast, he addressed LeBron directly, saying he was pleading with him as a father to reconsider the situation. Smith argued that placing Bronny in the NBA spotlight before he was fully ready could expose him to unnecessary criticism and pressure. He compared the situation to examples from other sports where fathers had pushed their sons into high-level competition too quickly, sometimes leading to harsh public scrutiny.
A 4-time champion, a guy that's gone to 10 NBA finals, one of the greatest we have ever or will ever ever see who is a basketball savant, you know better than me, better than Doggy, better than JJ Redick, better than Rob Pelinka, better than any basketball analysis or analyst that exists. You know what these numbers mean. You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League in Europe.
The segment went viral immediately. Headlines focused on Smith's phrase telling LeBron to stop this, and many fans interpreted the message as criticism of LeBron's parenting. Smith later clarified that his intention was to critique the basketball decision, not LeBron as a father. Nevertheless, the distinction did not resonate the same way with everyone, particularly those close to LeBron. From their perspective, Smith's remarks crossed into personal territory by publicly questioning the way LeBron was managing his son's career. For weeks, the conversation continued on sports television, podcasts, and social media. Bronny remained a developing player adjusting to professional basketball, while the debate about his presence in the NBA intensified. By the time the Lakers hosted the Knicks in March, the criticism had been circulating for more than a month. That tension formed the backdrop for the moment when LeBron approached Smith courtside during the timeout.
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father.
The morning after the game, Stephen A. Smith addressed the confrontation on First Take. His initial reaction was measured. Smith said he understood that LeBron's actions came from a place of fatherhood and that he could not be angry about that. He emphasized that he had never intended to attack Bronny personally and that his commentary was aimed at the situation LeBron had created by publicly promoting his son's NBA readiness. Smith even admitted that if he had been in LeBron's position, he might have reacted similarly. However, the tone of the discussion changed in the weeks that followed. Smith began explaining his perspective more forcefully in interviews and podcasts, arguing that if LeBron had a problem with his comments, there were numerous private ways to address it. Rich Paul and other figures close to LeBron had Smith's contact information, and a direct conversation could have happened away from cameras. Instead, Smith believed LeBron chose to confront him during a nationally televised game, which made the interaction feel more like a public statement.
Is the one who said he's better than some of the NBA players are right now when he was in high school. If you go back and look at the tape, back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop. I said it then. This is before he got drafted. Stop doing this.
LeBron eventually responded publicly during an appearance on the Pat McAfee Show later that month. In the interview, he clarified that he had no issue with basketball criticism. According to LeBron, analysts have every right to evaluate players and discuss performance on the court. The problem, he said, arises when criticism becomes personal or affects a player's family. As a father, he felt it was his responsibility to defend his household and protect his son from what he perceived as unfair attacks. Smith strongly disagreed with that interpretation. He argued that LeBron was misrepresenting the original comments and insisted his criticism had always been directed toward LeBron's decisions rather than Bronny himself. Smith also suggested that the tension between them might have deeper roots, including the long-running debate about the greatest player in NBA history. Smith has consistently ranked Michael Jordan above LeBron in the GOAT discussion, something he believes has contributed to friction between them over the years.
When we're talking about the Lakers, that's about LeBron, not Bronny. Bronny wanted to get drafted by any NBA team. He wanted to hear his name. It was LeBron that wanted him as his teammate. What I'm saying to you is, if LeBron had rolled up on me.
As the public feud continued, fans and analysts split into two clear camps.
Some supported LeBron, believing any parent would react strongly if they felt their child was being publicly criticized. Others sided with Smith, arguing that professional athletes, including Bronny, must be subject to honest analysis without media figures fearing personal confrontations. The viral video itself, showing LeBron leaning towards Smith with visible frustration, became one of the most widely shared sports images of the year. Meanwhile, the basketball story continued. Bronny James remained part of the Lakers organization and kept developing as a player. In March 2025, he delivered one of his most encouraging performances, scoring a career-high 17 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. The next day, Stephen A. Smith acknowledged the performance and admitted he might have been wrong about Bronny's readiness, praising the improvement he saw. Despite that moment of recognition, the broader argument sparked by the confrontation never truly disappeared. What began as an 8-second courtside exchange evolved into much larger discussion about media responsibility, parental protection, and the pressures placed on young athletes who grow up in the shadow of legendary parents. The game ended in overtime that night, but the debate that followed continues to shape how people view both LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith whenever Bronny's name enters the conversation. Drop your takes and tell me who you support here.